Here we go, it's the Cop-Out Podcast.
Hello everyone, welcome back to the Cop-Out Podcast, where it is the battle of 5th versus 6th in a fucking... Oh, what a difference 12 months make. Fucking hell. 12 months ago, we were sitting pretty at the top of the table and we pretty much knew we were going to win the league. And 12 months later, it's the battle of 5th versus 6th, where we could end up by 7th by the end of tonight. Oh, it's depressing. Sorry to start it on a depressing day. I'm joined by Mick, as usual. I've got Matt and I've got Tim with me as well. Welcome along, boys. Tim, I'm going to come to you first. I don't want to be on this podcast. I don't want to talk about this episode. I don't even want to watch the game tomorrow. Are you in the same ilk? Do you still want to talk about football, or would you like to talk about something else?
Yeah, no, I've been watching this TV show recently. Yeah, I'm a little nervous. Still choosing to be encouraged by the weekend rather than kind of a downer. But I mean, you just said, you know, what the difference 12 months makes in 5th versus 6th. How about 2.5 months when we played Tottenham and we were first and they were second, or they were first and we were second. So yeah,
yeah, true, yeah. Mick. It's a long time away, isn't it, from the last minute Bobby goal, isn't it? When we beat Spurs and we thought, you know, it was a top of the table clash, and we thought that result would take us onto a run going into Christmas, into the new year, and that just seems like a million miles away, doesn't it?
Yeah, I'm just having a look at our fixtures now. That was the 16th of December, which isn't that long ago, really, but it feels like absolutely months ago, because obviously the game after that was our last Premier League win, the 19th of December, which is just the fact that we've gone. What was the start you were saying before, Matt, about our form? I quite like that one, so I thought
our form in the last 5 games equal to Fulham, 3 draws, 2 losses.
Says it all. Like we keep saying, the next game is a must win, but this one is a must win because City battered absolutely ton West Brom last night, didn't they? United are playing tonight against Sheffield United. They're going to batter them as well. So we need to keep pace. I know it's early days and there's shitloads of games left, but if we're not keeping pace now, then it's going to be a struggle come towards the end of the season, because we're not going to have Van Dijk for most of it, and he's the key to getting our form back. So it's going to be a tricky one.
It is. Matt, how do you see the game going tomorrow? I mean, obviously, when you look at it, the weekend was very encouraging, wasn't it? Couldn't get the words out then. The weekend was very encouraging in terms of how we played. Obviously, the result wasn't what we wanted it to be, but we've got to be encouraged from that. And it's like James Miller tweeted and put on social media that how impressive that we were. We've got to take that into the next game, haven't we? It's so important.
Yeah, we scored. Wait.
Twice! Good.
Yeah, I'm encouraged. I think we're gonna win, but I think it depends. I'm not even going to focus on the defense. I think it depends on how Bobby plays. I think he showed again that he's definitely key to this team going forward. And if he can play like he did against United, then we'll have no problems. It's just if we struggle to score, I don't bank on us keeping a clean sheet. So we'll see what happens. But I'm quietly confident. It has to get better at some point.
Yeah, Mick, Tim, that's a really good point, doesn't it? It does have to get better at some point. You've got to come out of this slump or whatever you want to call it, fucking dark days, or my mate Carl would love that I've just said that. Mank bastard. But the turnaround's got to be somewhere, hasn't it? And why can't the turnaround be away at Tottenham tomorrow?
Yeah, I mean, it's certainly interesting because, like we've been saying, it's, you know, this, as Mick said, it's, you know, the next game's the biggest game. You know, we've got a chance to turn the season around, and this weekend against United was a chance to turn the season around, and all that kind of stuff. So it is interesting going in, and you know, there's a bit of beef between the managers going in and stuff, and you know, Jose saying the best team lost after last game, and it's got a little bit more background. I think it's a game that I think the guys will be ready to win because of what Mourinho's come out and said in previous weeks. So I think we'll see a more motivated Liverpool side than we have done against the type of team that we've been playing for the last few weeks. So it seems to me that yet again we've kind of we're adjusting our level of play to whoever we're playing, rather than just playing the same way that we did all of last year. So excuse me. Last year, obviously, it didn't really matter who we came up against. We played exactly the same way. We were exactly as lethal game in, game out. And it seems this year that we're kind of, you know, adapting to whoever we're playing and playing crap against the crap teams and better against the good teams. So it should be an interesting one. It's going to be. I don't know.
I can see it.
I don't know. I'm trying to
Mick,
be positive. I'm trying to be positive.
I was going to say, mate, it is hard to be positive, isn't it, Mick? I think when you look at it, you know, you said the stat that you have, we've not won a game since the 19th of December. Is that right? That we said before? Like, that is just, it's sickening. But it's the January curse again, because, you know, social media has this great thing about where it likes to remind you of years gone by. And when I've checked my social media from January's gone by, when it lets you know, I've got fuck off Liverpool, fucking can't win a game in January, fucking Mane's out of the African nations and we're not fucking winning. I remember that season very, very well. Yeah. It's good January blues again, isn't it? It's like we're fucking skint and we can't go shopping again. And we'll fucking come on to that in a minute.
Yeah. Well, I'm still looking at these fixtures. Still can't believe they're real. But we haven't scored a league goal since we drew at West Brom.
Mate, will you fuck off with this shit?
4
Trying to be positive here.
We're all saying the defence is the problem. It's the fucking scoring goals as well. I know it's all interconnected, like we've said, and the whole domino effect of not having Van Dijk and Gomez and whatever else. But we're not scoring goals, and Salah getting 2 in the last game against United, albeit we fucking lost to the bastards. It's going to do him the world of good in terms of going into this one. And I think Klopp looked a bit more upbeat in today's presser as well. Like he said he wanted to get back to the Liverpool of that we want teams to fear us, and he said now they don't because they know they can sit 10 men behind the ball and counter and maybe score off one of them. So he knows exactly what's going on. He's under no illusions. It's just the fact that we need. I think the high press maybe, and I mean we can't do it as effectively without Van Dijk and Gomez. But watch the clip today of like some of the old, like not old, but like last couple of years where like good high press and intense moments up at the top of the field with Firmino, Mane, and Salah, and it was so fluid. And I know that's not as easily done without Van Dijk and Gomez, but I think we need a bit more of that, like a bit more energy in the final third, closing people down. Because I think sometimes, especially in the last couple of games, it hasn't been quite there, and that's to do with confidence and whatever else. But what better way to go away to Spurs and make a mini statement that we're not just going to give over in this title race. No,
yeah, it's a good point, Matt. Who's in terms of the lineup? What are your thoughts on it? Obviously, we think Matip will be back, but we thought he was going to be back for Sunday, didn't we? And he didn't turn up.
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to think that Sunday was just resting him for today. I'm hoping that's what it is. And I'm going to echo what Owen said. And I'd stick Matip and Phillips at the back and shove Fabi into the midfield with Hendo. I think that's where...
Yeah, I agree with that.
We need to shut Spurs' midfield down, and I think we've got a best chance of doing it with Matip, with Fabi and Hendo in the midfield. Tottenham are lethal going forward, but we need to score some goals, and the knock-on effect of Van Dijk and Gomez is the fact that Fabi and Hendo haven't been able to do what they do best. But I think we just have to revert to Liverpool of a few years ago, get the midfield and the front line working at 100%, and then just make up for the defence. If it leaks, it's going to leak. We're not winning games now, so something has to change. So maybe putting Fabi in the midfield is the thing that needs to change.
Yeah, I like that. Tim, do you agree with Matt, and do you agree with Dev B, what he just said watching the show from Malaysia? Mate, thank you very much for joining us at 3:10 in the bloody morning. We appreciate it, mate. Thank you very much. And he said, any last minute grasp on a centre-back, your thoughts? Obviously, we've got Matt's thoughts. I like it. I like putting Fabinho in midfield because, let's face it, can't get any fucking worse. Tim, what are you thinking?
I think that after this game, I think I'd agree. It's just the worry of having a lineup of Nat Phillips and Joel Matip, and you know what Tottenham are like on the counter. They're going to come into this game and think we're going to stick Harry Kane and they would absolutely burn Matip and Phillips on a counter attack. They just would. You would just send the ball over the top, and I think you could give your Son about 10-15 yards, and he'd probably get there before Phillips and Matip would. Yeah, I mean, I think we'd dominate the game if we had our regular midfield, especially considering that Klopp dropped the news that both Matip and Henderson had been training fully with the team. So obviously they've got to get their last minute checks. I think it's tonight or tomorrow, and then obviously they'll be able to confirm whether they'll be starting or not. But yeah, I'm worried because I think that they could burn us with their pace, and you know what Tottenham like, they're going to sit in their own half. But at the same time, win, lose or draw, I think I'd like to see our midfield back together and actually functioning as a proper three, and seeing how Thiago would do in a more advanced position for the team, and see how that kind of influences our attack.
Yeah, no, fair enough. Mick, I don't think you can disagree too much with what the lads have said there, can you, surrounding centre-half? I think, like we said, it can't change anymore. But do you think it's better that we get that midfield right? Because the defence has been okay since since Van Dijk and Gomez have left. We haven't leaked that many goals, in all fairness. But if, like Matt said, something's got to change on it. But with Tim there saying Hendo could be back, a midfield three of Hendo, Fabinho and Thiago could be mouth-watering, couldn't it?
Yeah, I would love it to be Fabinho back into midfield, but I just can't see Klopp doing it. I think Klopp's just going to keep playing Fabinho centre back for the rest of the season now, because let's face it, he's our first choice, isn't he, at the minute? Because Matip's back fit. Whether he's going to play or not, I imagine he will. Yeah. But you can't rely on him. And I'm just looking out. I was interested who played the centre half the last game, and it was Reece Williams and Fabinho in the last game against Spurs. So we know Reece Williams isn't the quickest, but if it's Matip and Fabinho, that's instantly a major improvement on the last game, and we ended up winning that one. So I know it's different away from home, but yeah, I would love to see Fabinho. I echo what Owen said. I would love to see Fab back and CDM and Hendo and Thiago on the sides of a three. That's just the stuff dreams are made of. But I just don't think Klopp will, because he's banking too much on Fab being so good there, and he has been. But he's still learning the position, and I think he wants to give him as much time as he can to get as good as he can in that position. Unfortunately for us, because we all want to see him back in midfield.
Yeah, there was an interesting tweet this week, and I can't remember who it was, but it had the bracket of the journalist that they got it from, and the journalist had said that Fabinho has apparently had a quiet word with Klopp and the management team to say, look, I don't mind playing this position, but don't make it a permanent thing for me. So Matt, with that, we'll just pick on that for a minute, and that probably I'll find that tweet and we'll have it as the next episode of the Twitterverse. Next week, and we'll discuss it in depth. But Matt, first reactions to that is Fabinho's got to be back in midfield eventually, hasn't he? But it's quite interesting that he's apparently said that. Whether he has or he hasn't, we'll dig a bit deeper for it. But what do you make of that?
Understandable. He's one of the best holding midfielders in the world. He wants to be. Naturally, you want to be the best in your position, and that's where he is. And he's been a very good centre half. But the levels he's hit at centre half, he's not hit the same levels that he does hit when he plays in midfield. Yeah, you can argue he's vital to the way we play in midfield. He sweeps the ball up, he gives Henderson and Gini the license to do what you're going to do, start the press because I'm here, and whatever gets through, I'm going to pick up anyway. He can be creative, he can take a pop, and he can do stuff that he can't do at the back. He's more than adequate at centre back, but he's amazing in midfield, and he knows that as well. And I think he's looking at the team going forward and thinking that he can help out in midfield, but he can't step out to do it at the moment. So I get it from a team point of view. I think it's going to benefit us greatly, him being in midfield. And from a personal point of view, he's going to enjoy it more as well. So I do understand it.
Yeah. Mick, with that, I'm going to come to you on this because, we if we're going to talk about this person, why not talk about his boyfriend? So let's just talk about Thiago because, we know you love him. When he's injured, he was kept in your basement. So, if we do get Fabinho back in midfield, there's been this talk all week, hasn't there, about Thiago slowing us down and all that bullshit or whatever. So, I think the way we're looking as a team, he has to play that deeper role, doesn't he? Because of the way he is as a ball player. And I'm using the word ball player as in playing the ball with his feet, not the fact that he's a basketball player or he's a baller or he plays ball really well. Not got a fucking clue about the terminology, but that's what I'm saying, Mick, is if Fabinho or Hendo are back, it allows Thiago to get forward a bit more, and we see the Thiago we saw against Chelsea.
Yeah, and he plays ball, he knows ball really well, doesn't he? So that's a bonus.
How do we remove Mick from this stream now?
No, it's the same way. I look at Thiago the same way I look at Navigator. When he's going forwards, he's lightning quick and he can send anyone for an echo. When he's going towards his own goal, he looks like his legs are made out of fucking plasticine. That's the difference. So he's obviously an attacking player, and he's got that, and we've seen his passing. Like, his passing's absolutely glorious. So having him, like, imagine having him on the left of a three, Robbo just behind him, and Mane just ahead of him in a three, just picking up them pockets, playing balls through to Bobby dropping deep. Just that it would work so much better. But
it would.
I think I said Fobby then, not Bobby. I don't know why I got that. I think I said Firmino and Bobby. Fobby, there we go.
You can say Fobby, you can say Birmino. It's up to you, mate. It all works the same. It's absolutely fine. Tim, I'm going to come to you on this one, mate. Dev has said at Anfield, Klopp played Williams and won the game. Not sure which one he's on about there. In terms of which one he won, I know who he's playing. Fabinho, Henderson back in the field, Thiago and Vansel, but just behind the front three, he's put Taki for a change, maybe. Yeah, let's bring up the Taki Minamino thing again. And that's not a slight on you, Dev. That's just us talking about Taki again, thinking he might play, and he gets fuck all minutes, doesn't he, Tim?
Yeah, well, I mean, we've been over this. It's hard to understand why he's not seeing any time on the pitch. He was fairly impressive the last time he stepped out, albeit we did win 7-0. But considering that we've been through a struggle, it's surprising that he hasn't thrown him into the mix just to try something different. Regarding the kind of like him dropping into the midfield or playing an advanced role behind Firmino and switching places, because obviously I feel like them two would, if he did play behind Firmino, they would end up switching throughout the match because they're fairly flexible players. I don't think I actually would. I mean, we just talked about Thiago playing on the left of a three. I would actually switch to 4-2-3-1 for this game. I think that if we are going to move Fabinho into the midfield and Henderson is back, I would play them two in the holding roles and put Thiago in line with Salah and Mane and play Firmino up front and really kind of go for it. I think.
Say Thiago one more time. Say Thiago again, please.
Thiago, yeah. But yeah, I mean, I think that that kind of gives the wing backs a real kind of ability to push forward, because you could have Fabi and Hendo dropping back into defence and allowing them to kind of fill their positions and covering their roles. So you could have the wing backs really pushing forward without the worry of having to cover defensively, and you could have Thiago playing through the middle so that everything didn't come through the wings. And that to me at least makes sense, because why wouldn't you want someone that can unlock a defence with his eyes closed, playing in behind three of, when in form, one of the best front threes that have played in the last 20 years. So it's certainly an interesting kind of topic. And I think certainly as a sub, Minamino would work if Thiago's not particularly fresh at the moment, or if someone wasn't playing well in that role. I think he could certainly come on and make a difference. But yeah, I'm not so sure that everything is okay with Minamino, because like I said, I think that he would have been thrown in at some stage if he was kind of had any faith in him. So it's I can't really explain it really. I don't really know why it's happening or can think of any reason behind it. So it's just an odd one, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't think anybody can. Matt Owens put, I thought Jones looked good in the United game. A midfield of Fabinho, Hendo and Jones would let us use Thiago and Shaq as super subs, threading passes. I don't know what you make of that. I don't think Thiago would start any more games on the bench at all, unless something was going on, touch wood, he was injured and stuff like that. But Matt, in terms of the midfield three, let's just take the sane option. And like you said before, like Fabinho's probably going to start at centre half. Who's your midfield three?
It'll be Hendo, Thiago. Well, if Hendo's fit, Hendo, Thiago, and then you've got to imagine that it's going to be Gini, just because that's the norm. I'd like to keep seeing Shaq though, because I don't think Shaq's gone a foot wrong lately, and he gives us that bit more creativity. But I guess it sort of depends if Klopp's wanting to go for Spurs, and if he does, then I'd go with Shaq. Or if he's wanting to be a bit more pragmatic, in which case then Gini and Hendo behind Thiago would make more sense for that. But like I said, I'd love to see Shaq again, because I mean, I could talk about Shaq all day.
Yeah, you could, which is fair enough, mate, because he has been playing well. It's one of those things, isn't it, where he's been getting games now, and he hasn't looked out of place, which is great. Mick, I'll come to you on the front three. That stays as it is for you.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, but I think Bobby showed in the last game he's not been quite there. He's been showing it in flashes, hasn't he? Like he'll let go pass go, or he'll miscontrol something, and you'll be like, oh, and then he'll do something amazing, and you'll be like, there you go, like the through ball to Salah for the first goal against United.
Yeah.
That's just typical. Picks a boss space in front of the back four, can't be picked up, plays it through, eye the needle, and Salah scores. So we can't afford to have him on the bench, because especially against Spurs, we're going to need people dropping into the holes to make play and be creative in the final third. So I think it'll be business as usual. Front three, I imagine it'll be Hendo, Thiago and Gini, and then Fabinho and Matip at the back with the usual full backs as well. So having Hendo back in as well makes Trent's life a lot more easy. I mean, Trent's been getting a lot of shit recently, so having Hendo back in there on the right of the midfield allows him so much more freedom. So I'm hoping we'll see a good performance from him, because it's been a while, and I think he's been suffering from a lot of things, hasn't he? Lack of confidence, no pre-season, COVID as well, didn't he? Apparently Klopp said so. There's a lot of factors that have come into that, and I think Twitter's just an absolute breeding ground for opposition fans going, oh, Reece James is better than Trent, fucking, all the usual shit, Wan-Bissaka and everything nice. So it'd be nice to see Trent just make like if we can beat Spurs, it'd be a mini statement, I think, of Trent as a starting role, and that'll also be a mini statement for him to on the road to hopefully a little comeback of form for him, because he needs it.
Yeah, he needs a good game, doesn't he? He does. He needs an absolute pearler, and tomorrow night would be fucking beautiful if he does have that pearl over the game. Boys, I don't want to open to anybody who wants to answer this one. Is obviously the pressure's mounting on Klopp in terms of getting that win, and there's social media have been rife this week, and the whole Klopp out thing was trending, which made me feel fucking sick, because I think the people that are fucking doing that haven't been watching football as long as what we have, and been putting up with the shit as long as what we have. And then the FSG out shit as well, that's been going on, and it's the players and the manager say, we don't pay attention to the media. Of course they fucking do. They read all the comments, they read everything, they see it all gets shared in WhatsApp groups and stuff like that. Matt, I mean, that shit needs to fucking stop now, because it's going to affect the players, isn't it? It needs to stop as of right now.
Yeah, it's ridiculous that the Klopp out's even being discussed, and the scary thing is it's not just rival fans taking the piss. There's actually some Liverpool fans that are chanting this Klopp out thing. They must have the shortest memories ever. But a real quick way for this all to be put to bed is for them to win tomorrow night. They win. You just don't hear it anymore. We get back to winning ways, and it's ridiculous that you've got to be winning 24/7 for fans to support you. Clearly, they weren't around in the Voronin and Gog and Christian Paulson, Paul Konchesky days, but the lads win tomorrow night, and those Klopp out chants will very quickly disappear. But it's ridiculous that we're actually having to talk about this. Not 12 months after we won the Premier League. It's nuts.
It is nuts, isn't it? Mick, obviously it's the 27th of January, and we are looking more and more likely that a centre-back is just not going to happen now, unless deadline day is one of the most exciting that we've had in a long time, because we're linked with 7 centre-backs and we don't know who we're going to get. I think now we just have to deal with it now, don't we? This is our squad now until the summer.
Yeah, I think if it was going to happen, it would have happened the first week of January, wouldn't it? Let's be honest. Like the bank, it's a risky game, because they didn't get anyone, because they thought, well, the chances of Van Dijk and Gomez getting injured, and also Matip being injured quite a lot. Obviously, Matip getting injured quite a lot is quite probable, but the other two wasn't quite. We've been quite unfortunate in that way, and that's why we've gone this with a run of form where we're not doing so well. But no, we need to if we need to tailor Matip's involvement in order to get him fit for the bigger games and the games that we need him, then I'm completely fine by that. Completely fine, as long as Fabinho stays fit. If Fabinho then gets injured, then I think we have a real problem, because you're interchanging Matip and Fabinho alongside Reece Williams and Phillips. You need to have at least one of them in every starting 11, otherwise we're going to really struggle. I mean, Reece Williams is only a kid. Nat Phillips has came in from 2nd League Germany, and he's good in the air and whatever else, but he's very limited as a defender. and I don't think either of them would have expected anywhere near the involvement they've had. So we need to have a bit of luck. We need to have a bit of luck in front of goal, scoring some goals like against the last couple of games we've had. We've had loads of chances that not quite fell our way, whereas they usually do. And I think we need to. What's going on here? Have I said something wrong?
No, you finish. You finish. You finish what you're saying.
I forgot what I was saying. Yeah, we need to. We need a bit of luck with injuries. That's it. Really.
We do.
As long as Matip stays fit, we're sound.
And who are you desperate to see tomorrow, Mick, playing in that side?
Thiago. Was that there the whole time?
No.
No.
But that was what we'll leave now. Whenever Thiago gets mentioned, we're just going to put Mick's face up and go.
If Fabinho's back in midfield, I'm going to post that on Twitter and just go, this is currently me.
Super. Well, what we'll do, we'll leave it there, gents, and we appreciate the comments today. We appreciate everyone interacting. I'll be honest, boys, like I said at the beginning of the pod, I didn't want to do this because I just felt so fucking miserable. As per usual, I speak to you three and I feel much better about watching the game tomorrow. Thanks to Owen. Thanks to Dev B for coming on, mate. We appreciate the fact that you've been watching at 3:10 in the morning, mate. Really, really appreciate it. Thanks to Nugs as well, who's looking at the same midfield as we are, which is good. So glad we're on the same wavelength as there. My thanks to Mick. Thank you very much to Tim as well. And of course, thank you very much to this man.
Finding the drunk people.
You want to know where there's one?
Yeah.
I, Captain Yellow Shirts. Arr!
Okay. Have a good.
Yeah, my thanks to Captain Yellow Shirts himself, Matthew Ramirez, the absolute legend that he is. Good to have him back on the show. I've been Jay. I'm the piss taker. They'll all take the piss out of me. It's absolutely fine. We all love our viewers. We shall all catch you all tomorrow for the team news and after the game as well. Up the Reds.